what's happening between Europe, Iran, and now China and Russia? Well, it's a complicated diplomatic fight that's turning into a global power struggle. So, let's break it down in simple terms. Now, a decade ago, the world signed a big deal with Iran, right? Called the 2015 Nuclear Agreement. The idea was very simple here. Iran would cut down its nuclear activities, and in return, the world would ease the tough sanctions on Tehran. Easy? Countries like China, Russia, the UK, France, Germany, and even the US were all part of this particular agreement. But then came Donald Trump the very first time back in 2018. He pulled America out of the deal, saying that Iran could not be trusted. Now, that particular decision triggered a domino effect. Iran, angry at Washington's move, slowly stopped following the limit that was set by the deal. It ramped up uranium enrichment, saying that if America isn't keeping its words, why should we? Europe tries to play mediator here. The UK, France, and Germany, together called the E3, kept engaging Tehran, hoping to bring it back on track. But recently, after the talks collapsed, the Europeans decided to use something called the snapback mechanism. But many are asking, what is the snapback? Now think it as a safety switch maybe. If Iran violates the deal, the sanctions that were lifted earlier can be snapped back instantly. The E3 now wants to use this particular tool to punish Iran. But here's the twist. China and Russia have jumped in to block this particular move. This week, the foreign minister of China, Russia and Iran wrote a joint letter, and that too slamming the Europeans. They said that Europe's move is legally flawed and politically dangerous. Basically, in short, they are accusing the Europeans of misusing the United Nations Security Council's authority just to counter Tehran. Now, why this matters? This particular nuclear deal is set to expire in October this particular year. If Europe's sanctions actually return, then Iran will face renewed financial isolation, cut off from trade, oil sales, and even global banking system. But Iran isn't backing down either. It says that why should we suffer for a deal the US already walked away from? And geopolitics comes in the play here. China and Russia see an opportunity. Both countries have been building stronger ties with Iran, specifically after Ukraine war and the US tensions in Asia. Moscow needs Tehran's drones and energy cooperation. Beijing is importing Iranian oil, often ignoring the Western sanctions, and together they are turning Iran into a strategic ally against Western pressure. So, what we have now is clear divide. Europe trying to tighten the screws on Iran, while China and Russia shield Tehran. The US, in the meantime, a watchdog maybe, because a nuclear Tehran is Washington's worst nightmare, specifically after Israel bombed Iran's nuclear site in June. Let's sum it up now. This isn't just about sanctions. It is about the future of the Middle East, global energy market, and the balance of power between the West and the China-Russia-Iran trio. In the meantime, Europe may want to punish Tehran, but Beijing and Moscow won't make it easy for them.